Welcome to Eternal Weekend. I am Bryant Cook, and this is the third event on the weekend. I did not do so hot in the first two. I went 0-2 drop, and then I was like, maybe I'll get some sleep for the second one. That didn't happen. I couldn't fall asleep. I slept in too late the day before, so I ended up staying awake, watching Alex McKinley of theepicstorm.com win the first Eternal Weekend with the same exact 75 that I went 0-2 with. I then played in the second Eternal Weekend where I also went 0-2. In all four matches, I felt like I got vintaged quite a bit, where I would have really good hands and then my opponents would just have better hands. So sometimes that happens when you play this format, but I am super happy for Alex. Alex, congratulations. Super proud of you. And Brian Koval also went 7-2 with our deck list, so it's been really hot. A bunch of our other friends are playing it today. This deck list has just been remarkable. I'm really happy with it, and I'm running the same 75 for the third day in a row. If you look at this deck list, you'll notice a few things. First, 4 copies of Preordain. This is not an accident. This is because I played a bunch of the other deck lists that were floating around, and I felt like they were all way too clunky. They were all playing 4 copies of Hull Breacher and Dak Faden and Wheels like Time Twister or Wheel of Fortune. And those cards just, well, the wheels specifically were not very good. Hull Breacher was fine, but really clunky, and Dak Faden was hit or miss. So instead, I wanted to add some extra consistency to the deck because the deck functions really well on its own. So Preordain, big help there. But one of the things that Preordain does best is the deck sometimes felt a little bit like 2-card Monty, where you would have Manifold Key plus Time Vault down here to take infinite turns, or you would draw Sphinx but not Tinker. Well, I guess you want to Tinker into Sphinx, or Citadel, plus like Saga. There's a lot of stuff going on where, like, we also had the Brain Freeze Breach combo, Underworld Breach, Brain Freeze, Lotus Petal, and Black Lotus wherever it is up here. So like I said, we have all these combos in our deck, and Preordain was sort of the glue that held it all together. And once I added in that glue, the deck list just operated very, very well. So that's why we're doing 4 copies of Preordain. It's not very popular anymore, but it is quite common in the dedicated Underworld Breach decks, which is where I took that influence from. We're playing a main deck Dress Down. In the events leading up to Eternal Weekend, Green-White Hate Bearers did quite well. And this card is sort of just a hedge for that deck. It's also very, very, very good against the construct tokens out of Urza Saga. So we have an ace in the mirror, and that's always helpful. Outside of that, I don't know if there's any questions about this deck list. If you have them, as always, leave those in the comment section down below. I do answer every question. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. But it's pretty much just a stock vintage deck from outside of what I discussed. In the sideboard, we have Flusterstorm for those additional blue matchups, Dress Down for the Hate Bears. Urkel's Recall is for shops, obviously, so is a Braid, but a Braid can also come in against something like Bug to kill Collector Roof, so it has a little bit of versatility. Can also come in against Hate Bears, so that's why we're playing 2 copies of a Braid today. Lightning Bolt is for Bug and Hate Bears. Alpine Moon, this one's a little bit weird, right? Well, it's very good against opposing copies of Urza Saga, because it's not symmetrical, it only hits your opponent, so that's quite good. But then it can also come in against shops on the play to name Mishra's Workshop, or it can come in against Bazaar decks to name their Bazaar. So you do get some extra usage out of Alpine Moon. It's quite strong right now. And then in the sideboard, Yixo Jailer is just lights out against those Bazaar Baghdad decks. So we like Jailer, especially as a tutor target when we're running Vampiric and Demonic. Same thing with this Tabernacle. You really just want to find it with your tutors. Grafdigger's Cage is for Oath and the Bazaar decks, but really for Oath, you can get it with Urza Saga and sort of just lock them out of the game while beating their face in. That's the idea. And then the rest of these cards, you know, Bazaar shops. Pretty common stuff here in Vintage. I have to make this quick because the event is going to start shortly. So if you have any questions, as I mentioned, leave those down below. But as always, like, comment, subscribe. Those things are free and easy to do, and they do support us here at the Epic Storm. I would greatly appreciate it if you did that. If you've already done that, you can definitely go check out our member offers. So if you click the join button next to that subscribe button, you'll see we offer different membership tiers. Well, in December, I'm doing a promotion. You get perks from the top tier, our Combo Cabal tier, and our bottom tier. You're going to get to see all videos early, all of them, and early deck lists. So definitely become a member in December if you just want to try it out. You can also get access to, I didn't mean to make that rhyme, by the way, but you also get access to our Discord that is public, but you get access to the member section of it where I sometimes post other secret stuff in there, thoughts that I'm having, stuff like that. So definitely become a member this month. It's going to be worth it. You can also go directly to theepicstorm.com/donation decks. And in there, you can find information for how to showcase your deck here at the Epic Storm's YouTube channel. We have 3 different tiers, all with wonderful perks and percentages off our shop. So definitely go check that out. It's a win-win situation. At the shop, we have card singles, but also sweet, sweet store merchandise, including our brand new mini token pack that you can go pick up. We have colorless mana for vintage, but also monks for monastery mentor. Why wouldn't you want to go grab one for $13? You get 128, well, technically 64 double-sided tokens. It's just great value. That's my intro. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's breach some fools today. Tinker Breach, it's everything I've ever wanted. I'll see you in match number 1. Welcome to match number 1. We're on the play. Let's get it. And we've opened up Time Vault with Force Backup. We just need to find a Saga. I'm in. Keep. And our opponent has immediately lost connection to the game, and they're back. Okay. That was fast. Okay, let's start Eternal Weekend. I feel like our opponent might be having computer issues, so this might be a match that draws out a little bit. Okay, I'm going to get Volk here. I could get the basic island, but I'm not going to. Okay, and then Time Vault. And that resolved, that's a good sign. Let's just find that key. Wasteland. Immediately punished for my Volcanic Island selection. But I figured if they were a blue deck, I wanted the ability to breach, and I don't know. Punished. But I think I'd rather Volcanic Island get wastelanded than a Saga that I find off top for what it's worth. Sorry about that. Our opponent disconnected, and you might have seen me just like typing. I messed with my noise gate yesterday, and I think that when I messed with it, it was it messed with it. So like you might have seen me just typing because not because I triggered the noise gate, but because the noise gate wasn't closing. And hopefully it will now. Our opponent, 5 minutes into the match, has only played a Wasteland. Our opponent is back and they've successfully activated Wasteland. Okay. No, I would not like to give you Time Vault. All right, we're gonna play top, spin top, looking for Saga. Okay, top is resolved. Spin top. No Saga. I think I keep the Ponder though. And just pass the turn. Okay. And another Wasteland. Flip blue. Spin top. This time I think I just take the Delta. Okay. Nope. Draw. I think we can afford to spin here just in case. We have so much mana that it doesn't really matter. Speaking of just in case, how do we feel about match wins? Pretty good? Or well, match wins, game wins. I don't want to count my chickens too early. Okay, we get to cast Manifold Key. We will have to fetch away the top. Force, pitching force. Okay, I'm going to force back. So now we know that they're a blue deck. I might have thought that they were shops previously, so I'm glad I got that information out of them. Okay, so they're a Wasteland blue deck, which probably means bug. So I'm going to board in a Braid, Lightning Bolt, maybe the Fluster, Dress Down, maybe Blightsteel, maybe Needle. These are all cards I'm interested in. These cards I am not interested in. You can board out the Citadel, because either of these is much better in the face of Force of Vigor. You don't need the Hercules that can get out of our deck. We're at 66 right now, so we're pretty far over. Probably take out the Blightsteel down to 65. Take out Mystical, 64. Emerald. I don't mind boarding out Emerald against like the Force of Vigor strategies. We're trying to play a longer game anyway. So now we're down to 63. I'm not opposed to boarding out Needle. We did see double Wasteland. I don't know. Another thought is like you could just board out 3 Preordain and have it all. I don't know if I'm down for boarding out 3, but I think I will board down to 2. I think that's reasonable. And let's just do 1 Needle. It's either 1 Needle or 1 Abrade. Let's do 1 Abrade until I find out a little bit more info. Let's try this. Game number 2. So we have our Tinker target in our hand. We have a Braid Mana Crypt Key. This hand just doesn't do anything. Like, it is lands and spells, but this hand doesn't, like I said, it doesn't do anything. We have to ship this. Okay, I think we keep this and we bottom the Mox. Alright, let's go. We're keeping Lotus because we are a Breach deck. If you're wondering why I bottom the Mox over the Black Lotus, it's, well, we have 2 copies of Underworld Breach and having Black Lotus just makes winning easier. Alright, let's draw. And I'm just going to cast Preordain. Speaking of Underworld Breach, I think I want both of these. And pass. Saga, okay. So they're not bug. They're just like Jessica, or I'm sorry, Izzet Tempo? I think. Cast a Preordain. That might be the game. Need to think about this. We definitely want Scroll. So if I play Breach, they force a Pyro. I guess if the Scroll gets countered, I get burned. I'm going to cast Brainstorm here. Ooh, and I picked up that Fluster. Okay. Keep the land on top for next turn. Yeah, this is looking pretty good for us. It looks like our opponent's connection issues might have gone away. Scalding Tarn, you got it. Okay, let's fetch. Volcanic, I guess. And let's cast a Breach. Triple backup. Oh my. Okay, Lotus. Counter it. Do it. Counter my Lotus. I dare you. Okay. No guts. We're going to cast Merchant Scroll. If our opponent casts Pyroblast here, I'm going to Fluster. Okay. 4 cards in hand. It's a little bit weird that they didn't go after my Brainstorm last turn. The Brainstorm last turn was bait for Pyro, unless they just drew it. Merchant Scroll. This looks like it might be another Pyro. So I just need to think about this for a minute. Like, this is going to be countered. That's fine. So I have 4 available mana. They have 3 cards. So hypothetically, let's say I burn Pyroblast on like Urza Saga. And then I escape Merchant Scroll. Tapping these 2. Lotus still in graveyard. I can't cast it. So I think I'm supposed to just escape the scroll here and hope that I hit Lotus Petal. And if they force, I just get Ancestral. Alright, so Brain Freeze. I have to hit Petal here or Sapphire plus other Mox. Okay, for 24. Alright, come on, Brain Freeze. Alright, in theory, I guess I could Demonic Tutor for Petal if I hit the Moxen. There's Ruby Pearl. Needle Petal. Okay, so I hit the Petal. I think we've got this. Alright, let's start on playing Ruby. So that way I have Pyroblast mana up. And we can just exile some lands. Now we play Petal. Sacrifice Petal for blue. Replay Petal. Let's exile Narset for Scroll. And we'll Brain Freeze them. Sphinx Needle Fluster. Target them with a bunch. And then right before we get to the bottom, I'm going to target me with a few. Just so that way I have more Breach Fuel. Okay. So it looks like they're just Tempo. Okay, we get Sapphire. They have 28 cards left. I'm gonna escape the Sapphire. Okay. Let's escape Pearl, why not? Bolt, Soul Ring, Dress Down. And then freeze them. Dress Down, Force, Ponder. And our opponent has conceded, and we've won match number 1 over Izzet Tempo. Woot, woot! I'll see you in match number 2. Welcome to round 2. We're on the play. This seems fine. A little bit light on mana, which is a concern that I'm having. Okay, our opponent is finally back, and they've exiled a bunch of cards to Serum Powder. Let's see how this goes. Okay. So I think I'm more likely to just main phase this Brainstorm now. See if I can hit like a Mox plus Needle. That was bad. Yeah. I guess we don't need the Dress Down. I could upkeep Mystical. This just isn't good. Yeah, this is not the hand you want in this matchup. But I think I'm supposed to just take the Vamp and then preordain looking for a land. Because if I Mystical, I'm just passing the turn. Yeah, this hand is just not good enough to compete against a Bizarre deck. Bridge Therapy. Hollow one, good start. One of the few ways that I think that I can win this game, and it's pretty unlikely, but if we draw the Vamp, I preordain into a fetch land, I Vamp for Lotus, and then we try to breach up them out. But they have a Therapy. They're a deck that plays a bunch of forces. I just don't think it's super probable. Okay, let's cast this Preordain, looking for a fetch, or see itself. We're gonna bottom these. That's a bummer. Okay. They hit a Narco. An Amalgam. I'm just gonna concede this game. Maybe I shouldn't. They burned a lot of clock. Auto yield. Okay. We're gonna fall to 15. You know what? I'm gonna concede. I don't want them to get all this info. Because they might board in Leyline if they see Breach. So let's board in our Dredge stuff. Okay, a lot of cards coming in. I don't know if we want the Blight Steel. Maybe I keep Citadel, just in case they're too far into dredging where the Sphinx won't save us. Let's get rid of the Narset. I know Narset stops the first Bizarre activation or whatever, but it's just not good enough. It's also possible that we're supposed to just board out the Breach stuff, because Brain Freeze like isn't super reliable against them. That said, I didn't see any chills, so maybe it's fine. Board out the Misstep. Sort by mana value. 3 cards need to come out. They are a 4 deck, so I don't like the idea of boarding out Pyro. It's a tough call. I really don't know what I'm supposed to board up. Maybe it's just Preordains? Maybe we're not supposed to be playing the value game? That could be it. And then like maybe 1 Pyroblast? Or 1 Breach? Let's do a Pyro. Alright. Have to do better this game because that was embarrassing. We're on the play against Dredge. This seems fine. I'm taking a mulligan. Okay, they exiled 6. They're a chill deck. Okay, so we know that they have chills. I'm probably, if there's a game 3, I'm boarding out the Breach package. And full guide. Pass the turn. Am I gonna get punished here? Damn it. Oh, that was rough. Okay. I knew it was a possibility. Like, I knew that could happen. But you're supposed to play the Mox so that way you can Mystical for Ancestral. So, it is what it is. We didn't see chills when they were judging in game 1. Follow one. Okay. Let's Mystical. We'll get Ancestral. Cast it. That was not great. So this Tabernacle is going to kill the Hollow one. He'll get a zombie. Okay. Surgical. Yeah, I'm definitely boarding out the Breach stuff. Assuming that I win this game, but right now it's not looking like that's going to be the case. Okay. So the nice thing about having the Tabernacle is it means that they're pretty much just on Icarus at the moment. And now they get to draw or dredge. Okay. Another Bizarre. Okay. So they are on chills, so we're only going to be able to lose a certain amount of life to this Icarus before the chills get me. They have 3 chills in their deck, so that's 9 damage. Gonna need to draw something soon. Yeah, I'm actually pretty worried here because my hand doesn't do anything. Okay. Draw. Oh, come on. Oh, that was brutal. Not good. Yeah, I don't think we're getting this one. They had another Icarid. Yeah, I'm probably dead here. I guess I could draw Brainstorm. So the Icarids are coming. Even if the Icarids, like, they can dredge the rest of their deck here and mill over the last chill. Or have they used both chills? There's 2 chills left. So they could mill both chills. That would put me to 2. And, like, I would have 1 draw step. So I guess, like, maybe I could... I don't know. I guess I could draw, like, Tormod's Crypt or something. I've already used Soul God. I don't have a Tormod's Crypt. Yeah, I'm just done. I don't think I actually have an out here. I guess I have Cage. Another Narco, and a 3rd Icarid. So, I'm on drawing Cage, I believe, is my out. I'm going to take 6 to 8 life if I double force. Did they board out Therapy? They haven't milled any yet. Come on, Grafdigger's Cage. There's a Therapy. I'm going to force it. Go to 7. Okay, so they can dredge the Troll and an Imp here. There's another Therapy. It doesn't matter. My hand doesn't do anything. I mock. Okay. Come on, Grafdigger's Cage. 1 outer. Alright. Draw. Merchant Scroll is not good enough. I guess I should see if they accidentally messed this up. I don't know. It doesn't hurt. Alright, so there's a whole bunch of triggers on the stack. I mean, there's always the small chance your opponent messes up, so let's leave ourselves with that out. Okay. Whole bunch of zombies. And then Icarid. Icarid. Alright, they did return all 3. And now they're attacking for 9 damage and I'm dead. Alright, I am kind of curious to see my next draw. Ruby, that wouldn't have done anything. I could have played the Breach, but no mana to really do anything. So 1-1, Dredge got me. Our draws this round were not very good. Hopefully we can get rid of that. Alright, match 3. Our opponent's taking a mulligan. We're going to keep this. A little bit weak to Wasteland, but I'm not going to ship... Like, this hand's fine. We have Mystical for Ancestral or Merchant Scroll for Ancestral. Probably pitching one of these. Time Walk, like, this hand has a lot going for it, assuming that our opponent's on a blue deck. We do need to draw land number 2, and preferably land number 2 would be an Urza's Saga. Okay, our opponent's kept 6 cards. Crap. We're getting Bizarred twice. Okay. Like, I'm not supposed to ship this hand. Like, you can't just ship this in the dark. Are they on Hogak? This might be Hogak. 4 cards left in our opponent's hand. That's a fast start. I think I have to force this. Switch the scroll. 3 cards left in our opponent's hand. Alright, so we're going to take 4 here and go to 15. Makes the Pyroblast a dead card as well. Draw. Cluster, not really what we needed here. Another bizarre activation. Okay. And they are, in fact, Hogak. Alright, so we're going to take 5 going down to 10. Opponent still has 3 cards in hand. Wasteland's going to be the end of the game. Damn it. I can't Merchant Scroll or Mystical for Ancestral here because I don't have anything in hand. Damn it, we just lost. Alright, game 2. That was brutal. Good to be on the play, though. I do like Blightsteel in the matchup. Tabernacle. Cluster can come in. Soul Guide, Needle, Cage. Jailer. Maybe the Abrades. I don't know how I feel about those. You can take out Dress Down. Take out the Narset. Definitely board out all 3 copies of Pyroblast. Let's sort this. 2 cards over at the moment. I like keeping in Misstep for Cabal Therapy, but also a lot of lists board into Deafening Silence, so it does beat that. I think maybe we just board out the Abrades. Let's try this. Alright, game 2, we're on the play. This hand I don't think is a keep. We're gonna ship this. So I could bottom key, but then I'm gonna feel really dumb if I just cantrip into Time Vault. I just think that has to be the play. We're just gonna get a basic island and cast Preordain. Well, looking or hoping to find Tinker. Gonna let that resolve. I could force that, but I don't think that's worth it. Grief, okay. Get island, cast Preordain. Vamp does find Tinker. Okay. So we know that they have Grief. 7 cards. They're going to want to activate their Bazaar before Grief, because if they find a Vengevine, they can use Grief to trigger the Vengevine to come back. Discarded Grief. Kind of wild. Maybe they have 2. Could have misstepped that. I'm not really interested in countering a Ruwala. If they play another Grief here, I'm going to pitch this misstep also, so that way on the following turn I can play Strand Mana Crypt to help me dodge Cabal Therapy. And they pitch Death, right? Okay, let's pitch this misstep. And I can have the Fluster to protect from Force of Vigor. Okay. 3 cards left in our opponent's hand. They're passing by the looks of it, or just switching phases. Okay. And I am going to play the Mana Crypt here. I know that I could lose 3 life off it, but I don't want to get by Mindbreak Trap or anything wild. Another Bazaar activation. So if they have a land drop, they can bring back Bloodghast. 3 cards in hand. Bloodghast into Hogak. Does Sphinx race that? I'm not entirely sure. Okay. And they chose not to play Hogak. That's pretty interesting. Cast Vamp. I think we just grabbed the Tinker. A little bit worried about Force of Vigor here. Tails. Alright, winning the flip is good. And I got to the point where I can cast it. Go get Sphinx. And hope that the Sphinx can carry us. Alright. They had enough last turn to play the Gak and they just didn't. I don't know why. Another Wasteland. I'm pretty much just all in on Sphinx at this point. Paying cost. Alright, they're playing the Gak now. Yep. So we're going to attack them for 6. They'll go to 14. We'll go up to 17. Next turn they attack for 8, assuming they just attack with this, because otherwise it's kind of a silly move. And we'll fall to 9. And then we'll go up. Okay, I think we win this race. Get in there. Interesting, they're using the Bazaar. Sure. I still don't. I think they're only supposed to attack with the Hogak. Because otherwise I can just block the hollow one. They're using the Bazaar again. Okay, Bloodghast Vengevine is pretty scary. So something that they could do is cast the Hogak from the graveyard to trigger the Vengevine post-combat. I think they're only supposed to attack with this. Let's see what they do, though. Alright, we're going to take 8 down to 9. They have one card in hand. Draw. Cast Brainstorm. I'll take it. Full Guide Lantern. Remove Bloodghast. And let's get in there. This is going to put them to 8. We need 2 more turns out of this. Using Bazaar. Force of Vigor, Supplier, Vengevine. Alright, so they're going to attack for 8. Really? Why is that the move? So I get to gain 6 here. And then take 12. I don't understand this. Maybe it's just a Hail Mary hoping I mess up. That's fine. I need to think through this right now. We have... I don't think they can do it. Yeah, I would take 12 again and be fine. Okay, so it looks like we're going to get game number 2 as long as I don't mess this up. Our opponent conceded. Okay. Game 3 coming up. Just gonna submit. Game 3 against Hogak. I don't know how much I love this, but I think I'm going to keep it. They kept 7. Is this really a mulligan? The Preordain is our only action spell. Part of the thing is I don't love mulliganing against the Grief deck. I'm just going to keep it. And they have Bazaar. One thing to note about this matchup is that unlike other Bazaar decks in the format, there are games where Hogak keeps non-Bazaar hands. It just didn't happen this round. Bloodghast, Vengevine, that is a start. Wow. Into Grief? I'm gonna let that resolve. Like, there's no point in me forcing pitching my only cantrip. Like, they can take whatever card they think is best here. And I'm fine with that card being Underworld Breach. I really am. 3 cards left in our opponent's hand. No Hollow One is a very good sign. Okay. Draw. Not what I wanted. Let's just see what this Preordain can find. I like Brainstorm. I think I am going to keep both of these. So next turn I can Brainstorm, fetch away Emerald plus maybe Mana Crypt, and then Preordain. Emerald. Activate Bazaar. Sort of strange. Because like this gives you less options. So they have 5 cards in hand and they have to discard 3 of them. Hollow One, Dismember, Pitcher Supplier. So the last 2 are pretty good. Okay, so Bloodghast. What card was so good that they were willing to discard a Hollow One? Collector Roof. Yep, we're gonna force that. And that's why I kept Brainstorm on top. Okay, so now they're Hellbent. We need this Brainstorm to be good. Alright, what is it? Triple Land, classic. Let's get rid of Mana Crypt and a fetch. I probably didn't need to do that right then. They can't Force a Vigor me right now, so I'm fine with playing out Soul Ring. They might have wanted to upkeep the Bazaar and see if they could, like, hit a Root Wall or another Bloodghast. But that Brainstorm was terrible, and now we're at the mercy of our deck. We need to draw well. Okay, and our draw step is Ancestral. Speaking of drawing well, boom. I'll take a Time Walk. Does this Merchant Scroll get anything good? I don't think it does. We've already used Brainstorm and Ancestral. It gets Mystical. It gets Mystical. So let's Merchant Scroll for Mystical Tutor. And let's get another Volk. Cast Time Walk. Play Emerald. And I'm not going to play the Mystical this turn, just in case our opponent's random card in hand is a Mind Break. Now I'm going to upkeep the Mystical, go get Tinker. And our opponent's just conceded. We've taken the match! Yes! 2-1. Got kind of lucky there. I'll take it. See you in match number 4. Alright, the 4th match. We're on the play. Tinker! Keep. Okay. We're just going to fire off this Gitaxian Probe to start. We have Vampiric Tutor to go get something like Mana Crypt. Ponder. I'm sorry, Ponder. Probe. Ragavan Force. Their hand is pretty good. I'll take this Jet, though. That was actually a really strong draw. That's a Preordain. Okay, that looked like an island. So they have Force, blue card. Goblin Rabblemaster. Am I seeing that correctly? Wow. Alright. We want to find some backup for this Tinker. Underworld Breach is pretty good. But I don't think these other cards are, so I'm going to shuffle that. Well, that was good. Alright, so if they don't draw a blue card, we have Tinker. I'm going to let the monkey go. And let's Vamp. I'm going to get Ancestral. Let's cast it. If we win the fight, I can then possibly cast Tinker. Force Preordain, Island Rabble Force. They allowed it to resolve. Wow. And I drew a whole bunch of lands off that. Let's try our hand at resolving Tinker. This could go very poorly for us. Pitching Preordain. Force pitch Mystical. And resolves. I think I should get Sphinx here. They're at 18, so this is an even 3-turn clock, and their hand doesn't answer the Sphinx. In fact, if they play the Rabble, they have to attack into my Sphinx every turn. That's a concession. We've won game number 1. That's how we do. Alright, so these lightning bolts seem pretty good here. Cluster, something we want. Maybe even the Abrades. I'm not sure if we want Needle here. I don't think Dress Down or Hercules are that good. Those can leave. We're at 62. Sort by mana value. Maybe I just don't board an Abrade. Let's try this out. I can always reevaluate when I see more of my opponent's deck. Alright, on the draw, we're facing a blue deck with double Saga. I'm going to try this. This seems fairly good to me. Keep. Scalding Tarn. Volcanic. Ponder. I'm good with that. So on our turn, I'm probably going to lead on our Moxin, play Lotus, and then play Saga. Did not shuffle. Not exactly a card I wanted to draw, but maybe we'll be able to make it work. They're up 6th. Let's jam. And it resolved. Wow. They just F6'd. Get punished. Put this on top. This on top will draw that. Playtime Vault. And pass with Fluster up. That's why you don't hit F6 in Vintage. Because even if they answer Citadel, we have Time Vault Key lined up. Included Delta. That's a Gitaxian Probe. I'm going to let that go, because they don't know about the Fluster that's sitting on top. Brainstorm. I think I'm going to let that go too. Like, if it doesn't answer Citadel or Time Vault, why do I care? Alright, so they've already played their land, and it appears that they're passing now. And if I don't end up using the Fluster Storm, that's not the end of the world to me. I would rather just play it safe and not lose these two incredibly powerful artifacts. Oh, is Tinker any good? Is that a card I'm interested in? I'm not sure. Let's float a red mana. Cast the Tinker. We could also get Sphinx if we didn't want to get Key. Let's attempt to fluster. Okay, so if they have a force, they could force the Tinker still. And they force the Tinker. Sure. Play Mox. Hold priority, cast Ponder. In response to that, I'll Mystical. And let's put Time Walk on top. So by putting Time Walk on top, I can cast Time Walk into Saga for Key. Okay. Play this out. Player top. Cast Time Walk. I guess I can cast Breach, why not? Play Soul Ring. Let's cast Black Lotus. And let's fetch. Gives us a card to escape away. And Brain Freeze! Okay, we're milling them for 45 here. Well, I guess they could have like an upkeep bolt when I'm at 3, so I shouldn't get too excited. So if that's going to be the case, let's activate our Saga, make a really big dumb idiot card. And then I can Time Walk. Let's exile these cards. Keep the Brain Freeze around. You can go to 2. Sack the Lotus for blue. Time Walk again. Exile these. Spin top. Okay. Let's go to our next turn. I think we have like 3 turns in queue. Nope. Alright, so now we'll tap Soul Ring, make another big dummy. Draw. Go get Key. And we'll take another extra turn. Play Saga. And attack. Ouch. I'm aware I could tap my Citadel right here, but why bother? Okay, and now let's attack for 22. Someone interested in what our opponent's deck is here. Murktide Regent, Abrade, Goblin Rabble Masters. Strange choice. Energy Flux. And that was their hand. Well, now we're 3-1. We're not even halfway through. We just got to keep playing tight. Maybe dodge, dredge a little bit. See if we can go deep. Match number 5. We're on the play against Clobster, who plays a lot of Legacy Ninjas. I don't really know what they're playing here, but I'm going to keep this hand. This hand is maybe turn 2 Tinker with backup. I guess not backup. It's just turn 2 Tinker, assuming that they're not, but you never know. Okay, so we're going to play top and pass, I think. I'm not really feeling just like jamming. I don't know. I suppose I could still like fetch for Vamp and fetch for C and cast Vamp if they're not on a blue deck. But I don't think that's going to be the case here. Okay. Under's fine. So I'm probably going to fetch for Volcanic Island and top, looking for more mana, and then set up a Tinker. Okay, so we're going to go get Volcanic Island and cast, or activate top. Mana Crypt is a good one. Mana Crypt gives me Fluster back up here, but I have to get rid of the top. I think I'm just going to pass. I don't really want to Tinker. Like, I want to be able to have top when I get Citadel into play, and if I wait 1 turn, I get double backup, which is just better. I guess I don't get double backup. Maybe I was supposed to jam last turn. Let's top. I can still Vamp if I want after, but I sort of want the Flusterstorm on top. Yeah, let's just draw it and pass. I wasn't thinking. For some reason, I thought that I was going to have double backup by waiting a turn. It's just silly. Definitely a mistake. Alright, Brainstorm's done resolving. Island. Alright, well, now they know what I have. I'm not going to counter a probe. Preordain. 2 on top. Let's activate our top. That was silly. I should have done Volk. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Let's upkeep Vamp. If they want to fluster this, that's fine. And Vamp. I'm going to play Tinker, or not Tinker, the Crypt here, so that way I can top. And if I see a blue source, I think I might flop so that way I have double fluster. Okay. I'm just going to pass here. So this way I have fluster up if I need it. And next turn, drawing the top, I can play it off Crypt to increase storm count for these flusters as well. Dig through time. It is in fact dig. I'm going to let the dig resolve. Okay, so they're probably on a fair deck. I guess they could just be Breach. Ruby. They have a lot of mana. They're going to be able to fight through these flusters. Thing in the ice. That was not what I was expecting. Wow. And interesting that they left up Ruby here. Merchant Scroll. Okay. So I don't need to worry about storm count next turn now for the flusters because they only have the 1 land up. Force a negation. I can't help but wonder if I'm supposed to fetch away the top. I don't think so. I know that I don't want the top 2, so we can get rid of those. Okay. They have 5 cards. We'll fluster. Okay. 3 cards left in hand. Fluster. And does Tinker resolve? I hope so. It does. Let's get Boss's Citadel. Play top. And let's flop top. Play top. Cast Preordain holding priority. Let's bottom the dress down. Let's top the Narset so that way we have a blue card for this force. Cast Preordain holding priority. Top, and then we'll draw the island. Play the Mox. Play Mox. Play the island. Full priority, cast Merchant Scroll. Let's get Ancestral. And just cast the Ancestral here. Flop top, let's go to 10. Do it again. I guess maybe I could have gotten Brain Freeze there and just decked our opponent instead of getting Ancestral. Underworld Breach. That gets back Lotus Petal. Breach might win here. Let's draw the dress down. And let's cast the Brainstorm. Okay, that wins. Put back these 2. Go to 5. Go to 4. Brain Freeze. And target them, going to 2. Alright. And then I can Ancestral them to finish them off. You gonna let me see your whole deck? Nope, okay. So some sort of like Blue Moon style deck, it would appear. I don't think Dress Down or Hercules are really what we want here, and if they're going to be a thing in the ice deck, I don't know if we want this Sphinx, but they also might board it out. So let's keep it in for game 2. Mystical Tutor isn't the best in these matchups just because it often comes down to value. Question is, do we want anything else though? I don't think so. Maybe we do keep in the mystical, and then maybe even board on a braid. Let's try this out. I don't love Needle here, but it does name Dak Faden, so that's something I am interested in stopping. This seems weird. I think I'm going to try it, even though it is a little bit awkward. Obviously, we don't want the Citadel in hand, but the rest of the hand's good enough where I think it makes up for it. Volcanic Island into Ponder. Mox. Okay. Good draw. Just slow and steady. Wins the race, that whole thing. See what our opponent does here. Is this a Dak Faden? Narset. I'm going to fight over this Narset. Okay. Pyroblast, counter target blue spell. And if they fight, we can force back. They did not. Okay. So here I'm considering using Vamp to go get Ancestral, but we had a window there, and because we were on the draw, it didn't really work out where I could have gotten Ancestral if I didn't have to Pyroblast. What is this? Dak Faden. I'm going to force that. They have 4 cards in hand. Okay. I'm going to Vamp Underground Sea. Taps for a black. It has Vampiric Tutor for Ancestral. I could go get Citadel. Or I'm sorry, Black Lotus for Citadel. That is a line I have here. Is that better? I don't have Fluster to protect it. I think I'm just going to get the Ancestral and play it a little bit more safely. Draw. Ancestral. If they Fluster here, I could actually pay. Yeah, they have Fluster in hand. They let it resolve. Pretty good Ancestral Recall. We're going to pass the turn. Okay, they have 3 cards in hand going up to 4. Land number 5. And on our turn, I'm probably just going to play Saga. That was a good one. I guess this is a good spot to try to play Time Vault. And that resolved, wow. We know that they have a Fluster. I guess it depends on the other 2 cards. They might have like an Abrade here. That's a Ponder, sure. So right now, this Saga is threatening lethal in 2 turns. Did not shuffle. I'm going to let Expressive Iteration go. It is a double up, so it's similar to a Night's Whisper here, but I just don't think that's what we should be fighting over. And I will Fluster you. This is a good opportunity for me to cast Fluster because like they just have so much mana that I'm not going to be able to do it in a lot of other spots. So if they want to Fluster back, I actually win that war because I have the untapped land. Okay. 3 cards. Do not want to give you an extra turn. Draw. Good draw. Okay, so we have double backup right now. We just need to, you know, live another turn. Let's Pyro that. They have 2 cards. I'm pretty convinced that one of them is Fluster. I'm gonna let it go. There's no reason to play into a card that you're convinced that the opponent has. So if they do draw a crucial spell this turn, I can force it and pay for Fluster. Land 2 cards. This might be it. Okay, let's make a construct. Tap. Nope. Draw. Well, that was pretty good. Let's make another construct. And go get key. Untap. Take an extra turn. Alright, so that worked. And that's the match. All right, so we are now 4-1, just about halfway there. Just have to keep playing tight. All right, next round, we're on the draw. We have Force Blue card plus some spells we can cast. Why wouldn't you keep? This is vintage. Forcible's pretty good, I heard, so let's try it out. Scalding Tarn. Okay. Volcanic. The monkey. Yep. All right. Draw. Another land. Let's see what we're fighting here. Ooh, Crypto's a huge draw. Wow. Okay, so we're going to have turn 2 Tinker with backup. I guess the question then becomes, do I try to Tinker for Sphinx, or do I go for Citadel? Because these Murktides might be able to race Sphinx eventually. Okay, well, that doesn't give them too much. We drew a Mox return. You can have an expressive. Murktide was exiled, so it's only a +1 here. So if we're going to be using Tinker for Citadel, I think I'm supposed to Mystical here, and I pitch Brain Freeze. And that way, maybe later on I can vamp for a card that wins the game, like Key Vault or something. Okay, our opponent says they're conceding the match. Okay. I guess I need to sideboard still. Board out Hercules, board out Dress Down. Bring in... I'm still going to do this correctly. I know they said they're leaving, but I just don't want to get got. So we have 61 at the moment. Board out Mystical. Let's try this. And they said some nice words about the podcast in the chat, so it looks like we're just getting a freebie here. Okay, well, I guess we got a free match win, and we're 5-1 now? 3 rounds left to go. All right, match number 7. We're on the draw against somebody with 2 results playing Mishra's Workshop deck. So we're going to see how this goes. I'm a little hesitant to keep this, and obviously they're on chops here. But one of the reasons why is that this Mystical Tutor, I think I might actually let this resolve. The reason why is this Mystical Tutor wants to get Tinker for Time Vault. And I know I have another blue card to pitch, so I think I'm going to let that go. And I'm just going to play the Mox on turn 1. Needle. A little bit awkward. I think I'm just going to fetch a basic here. Play the Emerald. Do I risk playing the Petal? I think I'm just going to pass. Okay. Wasteland. That's annoying. I think I'm going to let that go. They're going to name my Mox. And then on my turn, I can play the Sea and Needle on Waste. Yep. Okay. Good draw. Play the Sapphire. Play Needle on Wasteland. Pass the turn. And we won't be able to force this turn because this Mox is shut off from the Phyrexian Revoker. Another thought is if I don't Tinker for Time Vault, I could get Sphinx. Another sphere that's annoying. I do have a Hercules in my deck that I could also get with this tutor. Draw. Breach. Not that good of a hit here. I think I'm just going to pass. Okay. Ghost Quarter's a little bit annoying. So they can cast something that costs 3 now. Or they can activate the Inventor's Fair. We'll just take a draw step. The other breach. Oh, it's so bad. I think we just have to pass. Maybe I should Mystical for Ancestral. But I guess that doesn't make sense when they have Ghost Quarter in play. What is this? 4 mana. I have to force this. That's a bummer. Okay. Free fall to 12, draw. They still have the Inventor's Fair. Play this, just pass the turn. I guess, like, my out would be somehow, I don't know, like drawing the Hercules into something else. Lodestone. Okay, I don't think I'm coming back anymore. Alright, so we're going to lose game number 1. Yep, I'm just going to go to game 2. Not waste my time here. Okay, so I am interested in the Blightsteel, the Hercules, the Abrade, the Bolts, Needle. I don't know about Alpine Moon. Let's see how the board mapping goes. I don't love Dress Down. I'm actually going to board that out. I don't like the Narset. There's like two thought, like I don't really like the Sphinx, but it is a nice Tinker target. You could board out Citadel or Sphinx. I think it's Sphinx that I am actually less interested in. And then let's take out these Pyroblasts and the Flusters. And then Mental Misstep, and that brings me to 60. So even with the Alpine Moon in the deck. And that leaves the Breach combo, which I'm not crazy about, but it's better than everything else that's in our sideboard. So you could board out the Breach combo for the Dress Downs. I just don't think that's worth it. So I'm going to submit this. And we're on the play against Shops. This is a turn 2 Tinker with Force Backup. Keep. Okay. And it also evades Mindbreak Trap, which is nice. Pass the turn. Wasteland. Okay, let's cast Vampiric. Go get Tinker. Okay, and now if need be, we can force something else. Alright, they didn't play anything else. Let's take her 3 damage from Mana Crypt because I'm not going to win. Called it. And let's play Tinker. So now we can put Blightsteel Colossus into play while having Force Backup. Pretty good. I am so old that I remember the days where people used to put Darksteel Colossus into play and then try to match it with a Time Walk. And then Blightsteel's just obviously OP. And they're just going to pass. And now we attack. Alright, so we got game number 2 over Shops, but now we have to win the difficult game on the draw. So technically Breach would be an extra, or if we swap Dress Down for Breach on the draw, it'd give us extra blue cards for Force. I think I'm willing to do, I don't know. So I could board out Brain Freeze, Breach, but then we're pretty much just like a Tinker deck. Like, we don't really have any other avenues, but maybe that's fine. And then, like, board in Dress Downs. And the Misstep could maybe hit, like, Soul Ring or Cage. I don't love it, but I think I'm going to try it. At worst, Dress Down stops, like, Revoker or the Lodestone for a turn. And holy hand, I'm going to try this. Keep. It's a shame I don't have another blue card, but I'm going to keep this. Workshop. What is it? I'm going to let that go. Okay, let's draw a blue card. Draw. Mox. Okay. So this gives me turn 2 Tinker through the sphere. Just no whammies here. Just something that doesn't matter, please. Ancient Tomb. Time Vault. Or, I'm sorry, Mana Vault. Now they have 6 mana, so this could be a Golos. Another Sphere. That's a bummer. I just have to let that resolve. Maybe I'll draw a land and I can just cast the Tinker. This costs 4, so I can end step Hercules them. That works. Okay. Caracas. That's obnoxious. Yeah, I just have to let that go. Come on, deck, give me a land. Draw. Okay. If I'm able to get this off, it'd be nice. God damn it. Yep. Alright, we need to draw another land. That technically does it. Okay. Might as well have 6 through their turn. Now we need them to not draw anything for back-to-back turns, which is kind of a bummer. Another workshop, 2 cards in hand. They're passing. We just have to pass back. Alright, can we fade one more draw stuff from the opponent? 3 cards in hand. Ghost Quarter. That doesn't matter here. Blue to blue. Yes. I have another basic in the deck. And let's go to their end step, and now we can Hercules. Target them. And now we have Citadel with top. Force backup too. Don't even need to get the Blight Steel. Storm 1. Alright, so we have Citadel. Love to play Saga. Play top. Flop top. Let's move this. Let's put it right above the Citadel. Hold control, cast probe. What do you have? Mindbreak Trap, perfect. Okay, so they could try to counter the top. But I have force for that. Force your Mindbreak. Play top. Let's just bolt them. Draw. Put a 14 life. Draw. Okay, keep it going. Unfortunately, we can't blow up any of their stuff with that. Draw. Ruby. It's better to just draw a card than play the dress down. We get more looks at finding what we want. So we can go get Time Walk with this. I definitely don't want to Blade Steel on top of my deck, so that's good. Get Time Walk. So at the bare minimum, we do get an extra turn. Let's play the Needle. Wasteland. Yeah, let's do Wasteland. Okay, we're at 4. I'm gonna go to 3. And 2. I'm not gonna cast the Mystical. Okay, and now let's pay mana for Mystical. I really don't want to go to 1. Let's draw Ancestral. And let's go to Cleanup. Discard some of these extra lands. Alright, so Saga goes to 2. We don't have a Breach in our deck for what it's worth. So I'm just going to Ancestral myself here. Trying to find half of the key combo so I can Demonic Tutor for the other half. Okay. Let's play Merchant Scroll, get a Shuffle in. Go get Brainstorm. Black Lotus is pretty good. Speaking of the key combo, we have it now. Alright, I'm at 1. The only thing holding me back now is me. So let's cast Demonic Tutor. Go get Time Vault. We don't have enough mana to keep the Time Vault around and activate the Saga, so we're just going to sack the Lotus, untap the Time Vault, take the extra turn. And opponent says GG's opponent. Okay, that is the match. We're now 6-1. 2 rounds left to go. Match number 8. We're on the draw, and our opponent is kept 7. So our opponent's Goldfish history is interesting. They have a lot of Reanimator and Legacy, which would tell me that they're on a bizarre deck here in Vintage. But then they have a few Vintage results from the Mental Misstep era, playing 4 missteps in various blue decks. So I'm a little bit torn. I don't think that this hand is good in pretty much any matchup, even against Bazaar decks. 5 lands? I don't know. I think I just need to ship it. This hand's much better. And I think we're supposed to pitch the Pyroblast or the Cantrip. It's tough to say. We could also just pitch the top. I think I like that. Let's get rid of the top. We don't have a whole lot of mana to invest in the top activations anyway. Alright, so they're on 8 cast. Tough matchup. Sure. Tinker, that's a good mill. They did mill Black Lotus, though, which is going to give them a ton of mana next turn. Draw. Another Pyroblast. Looking to hit the red source here, so let's ponder. Those are back-to-back red sources, but we're also going to have to resolve this Demonic Tutor because I don't want to draw that Sphinx. Maybe I should have drawn the Sphinx, actually, instead of drawing the extra Volk next turn. Now I'm a little torn. Because that could have been a good force fodder card. Or I could cast Preordain, draw the Sphinx, and then I have Pyroblast up next turn. Maybe that's a better line. Okay, so they're bringing back Black Lotus. 5 cards in hand. Mana. Okay, 4 cards in hand. Sacking the Lotus. Thought Monitor. I'm gonna let that go. Okay, and they're passing. Yeah, I think I like the idea of using Preordain. And let's draw this as our blue card. Just pass the turn. Next turn I have Demonic for Ancestral. Question is, do I want to try to kill the Emery? Or do I want to keep on giving them Black Lotus every turn? Let's kill the Emery. Okay, I'm not going to fight that hard over an Emery. They bring back their Black Lotus. Still 5 cards in hand. Cast. Yeah, this is like the only matchup where I actually think that Hull Breacher is good in. In my testing, I tested a lot of different blue decks, and Hull Breacher piles were certainly good against 8 cast, but 8 cast in general is not very popular. I do think that 8 cast is a bad matchup for me. And another Thoughtcast, you got it. Bobble. Sure. Another Thought Monitor. I think I just have to let those go. I'm getting buried by Thoughtcast effects. I mean, that's the point of the deck, right? We have 5 cards in hand now, plus 3 draws in play. We've revealed Demonic Tutor. Alright. And we're going to 18. And now they're going to go up to 7 cards on my turn. Okay. Ancestral Recall with Baubles. Another force. I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to get here. Like, Tinker doesn't make any sense. We don't have any artifacts. I could get Tinker and just hope to spike an artifact. But we're going to just hard lose to a Fluster. Let me look at the 8 cast decks real quick. 8 cast. I'm pretty sure they play a bunch of Flusters main. No main deck Fluster Storms. Okay. That's interesting. I think the play here is Tinker. Hope to spike a Mox. They have 3 forces in their deck for interaction. Brought back Lotus, so they're mana hungry. I'm gonna let it go. I just don't think fighting over these effects is what's going to win me the game. We still have 7 cards in hand. Alright, let's Pyroblast. Do they have main deck Fluster? It would appear so. Okay, so they let it go. Saga, 4 cards in hand now. If I can just draw a Mox off the top, I'm feeling pretty good. Taking 4 down to 14. Come on, Doc. Draw. Hell yeah. Let's see if I'm wrong about that fluster. Tinker, 4 cards in the opponent's hand. 3 forces in their deck. Okay, 2 forces in their deck. Sphinx. And they have another. Oh, they have main deck fluster. Okay. Yeah, I just clicked on another list. None of the lists have main deck fluster. Well, this one, I guess, but it's a weird one. It also has main deck mind breaks and misdirection, which isn't normal. All right, well, we lost game 1 to 8cast. No need to dwell on it. Let's just go to game number 2. Okay. So Dress Down's an interesting card. Sphinx is not. Those can get boarded out. Braid. Wonder if I want Bolt. Probably not. It kills Emery and Breacher. I don't think that's really the axis that I should be fighting on. I don't really like Hercules against them, so that's a card that can go out. I don't really care for the Needle. And maybe we board out a land? Let's try this. It's just such a tough matchup. Oh, I'm blind. There's 4 flusters in the main deck, and I just don't know how to read. I am sorry. So that was not that was not unusual. I just don't know how to read. And here we have Tinker. We have a force. I mean, we're supposed to keep this and just try to spike more mana off this Preordain. Ideally, I would hit Mana Crypt off this Preordain, but that's kind of a tall ask. Or Black Lotus, I suppose. Okay. Preordain. Am I supposed to keep these? I think so. Pass the turn. I guess our best draw is like a Mox. Island. Bobble. And opponent is passing, which means that going all in on Tinker is a little bit risky due to fluster. Top, okay. So now I'm more interested in going for it. And we have Time Walk. Blue card? Alright, let's Time Walk. Or should I just Demonic for Ancestral? Probably a better play, and I have Force Backup while they're tapped out. Okay, Ancestral. Alright, well, no land or artifacts, but I have all the forces in the world now. Okay. We're going to force that, pitch the Time Walk. Mystical Dispute. No, and then force pitch. Preordain? Yeah, I think it's Preordain. They're on 3 cards. They have their own force. I'm not going to pitch my Tinker. I feel like I'm not going to win if I fight that hard. Because they have way more cards to recover. I just need to spike a Mox here. Come on, deck, please. Not good enough. I'm considering blowing up their seat here. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Upkeep spin. Okay. Another seat. And they're passing. Their deck has a disputes post board too, so they actually have quite a bit of counter magic. This Tinker's not going to be very reliable. And another Saga. Okay. Maybe I can just get them dead with construct tokens. Okay. Well, that hurts. I'm going to let it go. I don't think fighting over Needle's how I win this game. Especially when they have 4 flusters. So, I mean, that stinks that it happened, but it's not the end of the world. So if I could draw my own fluster here, So let's tap this for mana. Wow, really? So now I might be able to resolve Tinker. Okay. Let's get top. Now I'm going to I could try to get in for 2 first, but I lose the floating mana. I'm just gonna cast Tinker. They've used 1 force. Force back. Tinker. Yes. Rep Citadel. Okay, it's looking good. Narset. Narset's like really good against them because they don't really have ways of removing it. Pull up their needle. Play the Mox. Let's draw that. So we're going to go to 10 life here. Play Preordain. That. Actually, what we should do is move this. We don't want either of these. Let's bottom those. Terms 10. Play Breach. Go to 7 and brain freeze them. Okay, so we stole game number 2. That was tough. I feel like I got really lucky to win that. I'm just going to submit and hope for the best. I wonder if the shatter on C actually ended up mattering or not. So they have 4 flusters, 4 force, and they sideboard into Mystical Disputes. I mean, in theory, it's the same number of protection we have, right? We have 3 fluster, 3 pyro. That's about even. Except then they have 8 Thoughtcast effects that we do not. So that's the big difference. We have 4 copies of Preordained, so we get a little bit of card quality, but their amount of quantity just matters so much more. I'm going to try this. Alright, they took a mulligan. We're going to keep. I do wish that this Underground Sea was a volcanic, but beggars can't be choosers. Like, this hand is fine. Saga is sort of our action spell, but we don't have enough mana to really activate it, and our opponent's going to 5. Okay, they're keeping 5. Okay, they're passing. Draw. Another force. I'm not going to argue with that. Wouldn't mind drawing a volcanic island, though, that's for sure. And they're just passing. 5 cards in hand. Draw. That was actually really good. I purposely played this out so that way I can make a construct next turn. I'm not going to play the Time Walk because it could potentially give them an opening. And I wanted to pitch to force. And they're just passing. Alright, this is what we needed to happen in order to win this matchup. I don't feel bad about it. Am I supposed to try to force the win right here? Oh my. See how it goes. It resolved? They must have a needle. Alright, so are we fighting over a needle here? Black Lotus, okay. Misstep. Alright, I'm gonna Pyroblast, and it's not an accident or an odd reason. This way I have double force up where I could just force again. So they have 3 cards. I'm gonna force pitch Time Walk. Triple fluster, that's funny. Yeah. Force on Ancestral. At F6. They have 2 cards, so if their last 2 cards are forced, they got it. And they passed the turn. That means that we're going to be the winner here. I can take my draw and then decide if I want to make a construct. I'm not allowed to make a construct. Alright, get Manifold Key. And untap the Time Vault. Our opponent said good games and good luck the rest of the way. It was very nice of them. And we stole this. Stole is the correct word in my opinion because this is such a miserable matchup, but I'll take it. We have one round left to go. It's going to be winning in time. Let's see if we can get it. Winning in time, round number 9, and we're facing Luis Scott Vargas LSV. We're on the draw. I'm going to keep this. Volcanic Island. Ragavan, sure. Okay. Draw. Tinker, that's a pretty good one. I could just jam turn 1 Tinker into Sphinx and hope it resolves. And if I do that, I have backup Ancestral. Play Mana Crypt. Alright, let's Tinker. And it resolves. I think we just get Sphinx. Alright. Well, Ancestral's pretty good for Luis. Need Luis to not be on a combo deck. Draw. That's pretty good. Get in there. I think I'm supposed to cast Preordain. Okay. And let's pass the turn. Alright, so maybe the Sphinx won't be good enough. Merchant Scroll. Alright, so they're on Brain Freeze. We are possibly facing down, losing the game now. What's Ancestral? Pyroblast, okay. Vamp. So this is a tough call here. If they have a Force, I lose. But I could just get Key. Or I could get Fluster. I don't know what the right thing to do is here. Like, Luis is so likely to have a Force. Sorry, I just don't know what to do. So they probably, Luis probably has Freeze, Breach, and then 4 unknowns. So I could get like Fluster, but a Force would still allow Luis to escape if Luis already has Lotus. I feel like this match might come down to this decision right now. So it's pretty important that I make the right one. I think I'm just going to get Key. Okay. Time Vault. Saga. Key. Which is Force. So Luis has to kill us right now. We can just hit the F6 button. So Luis needs a Lotus Petal or this is actually pretty tricky. Luis might need the Escape Fuel, but at number giving Luis a mana, I think it's a lose-lose. I'm just gonna block. Breach. Gush. Preordain. 2 on the bottom. Mox Jet. So Luis can play Breach and then Ancestral. Yep. And Brain Freeze. Damn it. We need Luis to miss on 15 cards. Alright. Probe that Luis hit the Lotus. We're dead. Damn. Alright, so that was a tough one. Sphinx, I mean, maybe I shouldn't have gotten the Sphinx. My own fault. Alright, what to do now? 59. Maybe 1 bolt? I actually don't care for Needle here. So let's do this. Maybe I just wasn't supposed to get Sphinx. I did this in a video last week where I lost to the same deck. Damn it. All right, game 2, I'm on the play. This hand is really slow. I don't know if it's good enough. I think I have to ship this. This is better. Bottom of the Soul Guide. Alright, let's start off on Gitaxian Probe. Breed, Mox, Breach. Okay, so I don't want to play out the Ruby on turn 1 because Luis can just abrade it immediately. Preordain, okay. 2 on top. Draw. Misstep. And pass the turn. I'm gonna let it go. Flooded Strand. Okay. Let's make a construct. I guess I probably could have seen what my draw step was first. So I could... Oh, I actually don't have a needle in my deck. I'm gonna get Lotus. Attack for 4. Put Luis to 15. And then play Narset with Misstep for the Pyro. Mental Misstep. Alright, and then let's use Narset. Gladly take the Force. I'm gonna let that go. So Luis can try to kill my construct and then attack Narset. I'm gonna Force. It could end up biting me in the butt here, but I'm going to. Luis forces back, pitching Gush. Okay. So then Monkey attacks my Narset down to 1. You're coming at me, okay. Demonic Tutor, wow. Did we just lose the game to my own Demonic Tutor? Wow, so Luis can get Lotus and play Breach. I think we just lost. Unreal. Damn. Knocked out of top 8. So Luis can replay Lotus into Expressive Iteration? Luis's hand is Digging One Unknown. So sack Lotus for 4, escape 5, cast Dig. Leaving the Lotus, maybe? Time lock. So 2 extra turns. No, Luis already took an extra turn. What's the one unknown? Okay. Nothing I can do here. So the monkey is going to give Luis a 4th mana to cast the Dig Through Time. And my Mox. Yep. So Luis can cast Dig with the treasure up. Not in a good spot. Okay, so I get a turn. Sapphire. That's minus the Narset. Do I take top? I take the Ponder. Look for a second red source. Or something that's actually good. I think it's supposed to be the top. Hopefully I don't regret this. Should I just take the Saga here? I think so. Just pass the turn. Another Demonic Tutor. That hurts. Yep. Okay. Narset's down. Counter the Ancestral, they have 3 cards. And another Force. Yep, so now they're back up to 4. Not in a good spot here. I think I just have to pass. Lelia, yep. Lelia's at 3/3. Not sure what I should do here. Actually, I know Preordain's on top. I can't let Luis have my Preordain. Just bury me deeper on cards. Yep. I'm just getting destroyed. Alright, draw. Make another construct. Search my deck for what exactly? Soul Ring. Play top. Let's spin top. Interesting. I think Fluster is the worst card here. Pass the turn. I'd like to find an Underworld Breach. I feel like that's one of the few ways I might actually be able to come back. Okay. Underworld Breach. They're going to escape and kill my construct, which then presents lethal on the following turn. Okay. There's no Lotus Petal in the deck to kill me with Brain Freeze. Something I just looked up on Goldfish. Tapping 2 blue. Replicated. Trying to cut me off red. And the Soul Ring. That was a good play. Now I'm forced to chump. Well, I'm not forced to, but it's better now while Luis doesn't have the resources. Like, if I wait a turn, Luis might be able to remove the token and kill me. Okay. Still 3 cards. There's likely a Fluster in Luis's hand. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get this. Alright, let's cast Preordain. There's the Fluster. Okay, I just have to pass. End step, hope to top into Breach. Okay. So Laylee is going to become a 6 and I'll go to 2. The Narset's kind of annoying. But I also know that I have a Brainstorm on top. So I'm not sure if I'm supposed to let this resolve or not. So I would draw the Brainstorm next turn, and then cast it looking at 2 new cards. Or I can just top right now. But Brainstorm next turn would have to hit 2, it would need Land Breach, which isn't possible, so I have to let the Narset resolve. Yeah, Narset missed. So I'm looking for 1 of 2 copies of Underworld Breach with this top. And I missed. That means I'm dead. Well, I guess I can Mana Crypt top. No, I can't draw an extra card with Narset. Yeah, I'm just dead. Play Crypt. Yeah. This match just got away from me. I should have known better than getting Sphinx in game 1. It's twice recently I've made that mistake. And there's the Breach. Oh, and I can't win. The Narset's preventing me from drawing an extra card. We are 1 card short. Well, I also don't know what is in Luis's hand, but... Alright. So that's the end of our event. 7-2. Womp womp. Alright, so, yeah, we were 9th coming in. I might be top 16. My breakers weren't very good, so I think I'm just dead. Thanks for watching. Kind of a heartbreak loss for me. It's back-to-back days where I've lost my win-it ins, but this one's definitely my own fault, I believe. Thanks for watching. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.